team here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now the whole team here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now the whole team here. Boys tell stories about the man. Say I never struggled, wasn't hungry, yeah, I doubt it.
Chicago, this is Derek Spallone alongside former Northwestern Wildcat and current Chicago Bear Wootton here. Can you talk to us about React Physical Therapy and the event that took place and how it's benefited your career?
React Physical Therapy is different from the standard physical therapy you see at places like Athletico. It's more focusing on balancing your body, limiting your restrictions, opening them up, and then strengthening those small muscles that you've never really trained before.
Right, so do you feel that you're kind of back at full pace right now? I know we talked a little bit about that, but you feel like you're at full strength now? Or?
Definitely. After five or 6 weeks here training with David, I already feel better than I ever have in my whole career. More explosive, a lot more power, especially out of the leg that I injured 3 years ago in a bowl game, tearing my ACL.
Right. So we're glad to hear that everything's worked out, and obviously the Bears made some couple of splashes in the free agency so far. Can you talk about some of the additions of Bushrod and Bennett and how they're gonna impact the team this year?
Definitely. Bushrod is a Pro Bowl caliber tackle. The past 2 years he was Pro Bowler. Very talented, athletic. And our offensive coordinator coached them at the Saints, so I think it was definitely a good fit. And then Martellus Bennett, a big target and tight end, had a great year with the Giants last year, and we were able to pick him up.
Definitely. And as a defensive member yourself, how important is it to bring a guy like Brian Urlacher back? Hopefully he comes back. And how important is that to him?
He was the leader of our defense. Other guys are leaders, but everyone knows, that's Brian Urlacher's, locker room and just everything he's been able to do, just with his leadership qualities and getting everybody going. We'd love to have a guy like that back in the locker room. Hopefully it works out, but you never know in negotiation.
Right, and new coaching staff and everything. Can you talk about transitioning from, Lovie Smith and those kind of guys to, your head coaching?
It's definitely different because Lovie Smith was obviously more of a defensive-minded coach.
Right.
We ran his defense. Coach Trestman is a more offensive-minded coach. But we're keeping the same scheme defensively, so it'll be good. Still running the 4-3 and attacking style defense that we ran with Lovie and Coach Marinelli. So, I definitely think it's good for us defensively. We're have most of the same guys back. Hopefully we can get Brian Urlacher and Nick Roach. But I'm excited what our team can do collectively with this whole new offensive scheme.
And going back a little bit for you growing up, who do you credit most for your football success? I know you probably played for plenty of coaches, but who do you kind of credit?
I definitely think my parents. Just always pushing me. They sent me to a private school, high school. I didn't go to the high school down the street from me because they knew it would benefit me in the long run. Just because Don Bosco, was a high school football powerhouse, and a lot of college recruits coming out of there, and coaches would come up there all the time to see the talent over there. So I knew. Them sending me there would help me out a lot, and it ended up in me getting a few scholarships, and I ended up choosing Northwestern.
Yeah, can you talk about that? Why did you ultimately choose Northwestern?
I think the biggest thing is that everyone wants to make the NFL, but ideally sometimes that doesn't work out. And if you do play in the NFL, it's an average of only 3 years career span. So I knew that I wanted to have a plan for after football. And Northwestern being the great school it is, the great connections that they have from there, successful people, business, communications, broadcast journalism, something I've always wanted to do. So I thought it was a perfect fit for me, Chicago, and being in the Big Ten Conference.
Okay, definitely, man. I mean, playing for an enthusiastic coach like Pat Fitzgerald, I'm sure that was pretty interesting. But can you talk about the impact that he had on you?
Oh, definitely. Coach Fitzgerald is, like you said, a passionate coach, intense. He's definitely a player's coach. He gets you amped up, and he's got a great plan for them. They won 10 games this season. They've been to a bowl game the past 4 years in a row. So they're really doing big things. The 90s, early 90s, 80s, they were looked at as a joke of the Big Ten.
Right.
Now they're coming up top teams in the Big Ten.
Yeah, they restored the legacy and won their first bowl game, and I don't even know how long, but that was an exciting moment.
Since 1949.
Right. Okay, so you already know. And obviously, I'm sure you get this question all the time. You're known for ending Brett Favre's career. Is that your greatest football moment memory, or is there something else that's kind of ranked up there?
No, for a while I didn't like that title just because my first 2 years that's all I really did. Okay. That's all I was known for, and a lot of people labeled me as injury prone. when I was injured just last year. My first year I wasn't injured at all, but I definitely think this season was definitely my best memory, you know, best moment in football in the NFL, just because it was sort of a breakout year for me, at least. You know, I knew it was a big year for me. A lot of people didn't even slate me on making the roster, so I knew I had to come out, really prove myself, and prove what I can do. And then towards the end of the season, I took over the starting role and definitely established myself.
So for some more, you know, highlights and memories to come from your way, but did you ever talk to Brett after that, or was it kind of just like?
No, I
okay.
never did. So that was, you know, I never got a chance to talk to him. You know, but you know, I didn't try to injure him purposely or anything like that.
Right.
But you know, I wish him nothing but the best. You know, he had a great career, Hall of Famer. You know, he's a great guy.
Just a couple more questions for yourself. What pumps you up before a game? You know, what kind of motivates you listening to any music, any particular artist, or, you know, I don't see football players have different
I think you know, a lot of people are surprised by this. I listen to a lot of house music.
Okay.
So being from New Jersey, you know, people say the fist pump and stuff. I don't fist pump, but I listen to a lot of the house music that gets me going. That's what I usually listen to before a game.
Okay, and our last question for you: what's that one thing, in your opinion, the Chicago Bears have to do, or, you know, improve at in order to be a supreme team in the NFC again?
You know, I think the biggest thing is just firing on all cylinders. You know, whenever our offense is doing well, defense needs to do the same, and the same vice versa. You know, I think we need to get both sides of the ball operating, and then I think we could bring a championship home to Chicago.
So you heard that here first. In order for Chicago Bears to get back to supremacy, you know, both sides of the ball, and just bring it back for the city. We appreciate it, Corey Wootton, Spallone. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Now we here. Started from the bottom, now the whole team here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from